Hello, everybody. Welcome. Good to see so many of you today. Thank you. We're starting just a little bit early because John Bradshaw's got an elongated brag bag. So those of you that have blankets and pillows, birthday cards being passed around for Margaret Zerbst, president of who's the spouse of Howard Zerbst, two-time president of the Kiwanis Club of Roanoke. She turns 100 years old. Resident of Brandon Oaks later this month, 100 years old. So I look around the room trying to see if anybody's here that I haven't seen in a while. Let's see. Tom's out of a sling. Wave your arms, Tom. Wave one arm. Today's call for introspection will be Milton Hardy. The song leader will be Judy Clark, and the Pledge of Allegiance will be Don Witt. Milton.
Today, normally would be a time where, if they asked me to do any type of prayer or type of invocation, we would go into deep prayer and I would call on a lot of different things. But as we know that Monday, we celebrate a great man. Monday, we celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. And I believe today is a great day to share some things that he said. One thing I definitely appreciate is how I've been accepted into this club. I've been accepted in this club not based on what I look like, but for my heart and what I do. One of the things he said, I have a dream that my 4 children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. These are some other quotes that I believe we can use as we move forward to be great in our roles in the community and where we walk. First one is, we must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. Forgiveness is not an occasional act, it's a permanent attitude. I've decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Never succumb to temptation of bitterness. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. We may all have come on different ships, but we're on the same boat now. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Change does not roll on the wheels of inevitability, but comes through continuous struggle. Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into friend. There comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe, nor politic, nor popular, but he must take it because conscience tells him it is right. Let no man pull you so low as to hate him. And finally, if you can't fly, then run. And if you can't run, then walk. And if you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, whatever you have to do, you have to keep moving forward. Have a great evening.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the song is from the movie Toy Story. You'll see the words on your table, and Amy that is working, you're going to sing along. You've got to sing to me. Theme song 1.
when the road runs ahead miles and miles of ice and cold, baby. You just remember what your old man said, or you got a friend. Yeah, you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got the trouble. I got the truth. Yeah, it's a baby. What do you do? We stick together. See it through. 'Cause you got a friend. You got a friend in me. Some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am. Being stronger too. Ain't none of them without love the way I do. It's me and you, boy. And if the years go by,
Seems
a
to be a problem.
friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's a gas. You got a friend. You got a friend. You got a friend.
Thank you.
Please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic in which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Harry Zuloff will introduce our guests today. Harry?
Good afternoon. We have quite a few visitors today, so get to it. When your name is called, would you please stand up, and then the sponsor that is with you today also. First off is Colbert Boyd. Rupert Cutler got him involved, but Bill Bestich is this. There's Bert, and he turned in an application today, so all right. We have Susan Miller, and she's from Maryland, and Hiawatha brought her today, so welcome. Keith Hartman, Leadership Development, and Kevin Reed are today. Ginger Poole of Mill Mountain Theater, Larry Kuffel. Joanna Wilson of Evergreen, and Don Wilson. Yeah, how about that? And Ian Fortier of the Grandin Theater. Well, he's a grant recipient today, so welcome. I won't try to make a joke this time and introduce as a visitor John Bradshaw. I think everyone knows that. Take it easy.
One of the great things we get to do as Kiwanis is hand out money to deserving organizations. Today, Bob Haberman, where are you, Bob, will be making grant presentations to the Grandin Theater and to Mill Mountain Theater. Bob?
Thank you, Ben. Our first one, Mill Mountain Theater, Larry and Ginger, would both of you come forward here up to the mic. And Larry's going to tell us a little bit about Mill Mountain Theater, and Ginger Poole will be telling us a little bit about what she's going to do with the money.
Thanks, Bob. As you all know, I'm Larry Kufel. I'm the business manager for Mill Mountain Theater.
We are a live equity regional theater, and you all have, I think most of you anyway, hopefully all of you, have attended some of our fantastic productions. We're very grateful for this grant that we're receiving today. And we're very grateful for the support that all of you give our theater by attending our productions, especially our holiday show, that we all get a group together. This last one was 80 people in total. So, and now I'll introduce Ginger Poole, and she'll tell you a little bit about what we're going to do with the money.
Carefully, OSHA violation.
Thank you.
OSHA violation.
Thank you, everyone. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here and receive this grant today from the Kiwanis Club. I cannot tell you the impact that you are helping us make in our community. And as we were walking over here, Larry and I were talking about the years and years that this partnership has begun to build. And I think we're going on 7 years of you helping us with our reading initiative in our community. So we started out with one youth community tour that went into our community, into neighborhoods, libraries, schools, parks, to bring the arts into our community and let children and families experience this, that they might not have the opportunity to do so. That turned into all of the families and children that are seeing these shows, they leave with a book. And that followed by a survey being sent out to the families to check in with them. Did you read the book? Did you talk about the show that you saw? Did you learn new vocabulary words? Did you explore new reading? Did you make a trip to the library? Did you come to see another show in any type of arts show in the community? And what we have gathered over the past 7 years is truly, I don't want to overuse that word, but the impact that is being made. We have now true statistics to show that we have improved the reading level for the age group of elementary students in our community, and it's tremendous. So tremendous that we can now continue to work with the Kiwanis Club and the monies that you give us to leverage with other partners to continue the success of this program. Some of the success is already being shown in our 2023 programming. We are adding another community tour. So we will have 2 children's tours, one that goes out in the summer for 30 days and one that goes out in the fall for 30 days in our community. And all of these are free of charge to children, families, schools, and other organizations in our community. So again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for making a difference in our community.
Nice smiles. Thank you. Thanks. Thanks, man. Our second grant today will be to the Film Lab. Don Wilson, he'll tell you a little bit about the Film Lab. And then Ian Fortier will tell us a little bit about what they're going to do with the grant. Don.
Thank you, Bob. I'm privileged today to introduce Ian Fortier. Many of you know Ian. He's Executive Director of the Grandin Theater, a real gem and jewel in our community, especially in the Grandin Road area, but everywhere in the city. The Film Lab is near and dear to my heart. These are young people that have an opportunity to try something new, and it's been very well received. And Ian's going to tell us a little bit about how this grant's going to be used.
Thank you, everyone. It's an honor to be here. We started this program 7 years ago when we realized that there was no such program for young student filmmakers that existed in our region. Since then, we've graduated roughly 50 kids out of the program. It's a high school age program from 9th grade to 12th grade. The Grandin Theater Film Lab is not a movie club. They don't watch movies and eat popcorn and talk about it. We put cameras in their hands the very first week. We get kids from Roanoke County, Roanoke City, private schools, the homeschool community, and it is one of the most multi-school programs that you'll find, kids from all over the region. We've had kids from as far away as Franklin County, Blacksburg, as well as Botetourt come to this after-school program. In its first 6 years, the products that the student filmmakers of the Grandin Film Lab have created have been accepted or acknowledged in over 40 film festivals worldwide. And since the time that I wrote this grant and requested this money from the Kiwanis Club, the students have also received 2 more nods from the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, winning Best Short Form Fiction in 2022 for 2 of their films. The National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences is also the organization that issues the Emmys, so these are essentially Emmy Awards for students based on their products. This program with those 2 now has 10 Emmy Award-winning films that they've created out of their own. As many programs go, and Ginger would attest to this, when you're a nonprofit arts and cultural organization, you spend the majority of the money that you raise. This program is almost entirely grant funded, save some nominal tuition that some of the students pay. You spend almost all the money that you raise in executing the program and paying the people who run the program to do it. And oftentimes promotion and advertising and recruitment is something that falls by the wayside. So our intention is to use this money to create a very succinct, very appealing, very easily distributable brochure that we can use to start to go to some of the zip codes that we have not seen kids come from yet, Northwest and some of the other counties, because we want to find those diamonds in the rough. We want to find those kids that every time we pull equipment out in the classroom, they race to the front of the room. We want to find those kids that every time you give them a writing assignment or writing about movies or television, and we want to get them into the program, because this program takes kids and puts them into college and puts them in the industry. We've had several different kids, probably 10 or 11 now, that have gone on to college, including VCU, UNC School of Art, PACE, and then we also have one student at the University of Southern California Film School right now that came out of Roanoke, Virginia. So we want to make sure that we continue to find those diamonds in the rough, especially from those underserved populations, and get them into this program so they can go on to have careers and chances to study at higher education, to be young filmmakers, which is an incredibly important medium of art with a visual age that these kids live in. Thank you very much for your time and for your support.
I've watched some of the films. Outstanding.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Next, Amy, if you'd come forward, we're going to have an autobiography from Amy.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am extremely nervous. I hate public speaking. So just bear with me. My brother once told me that I was an oxymoron, but I think that was his way of just calling me a moron. He said, everybody knew everything about me, but nobody knew anything about me. I was born in 1958, August 6th. I'll be 65 this year. Everybody's invited to my birthday.
There you go.
My dad was in the Air Force when I was born, and then went on to work for DuPont. So we travel around a lot. I have two brothers, one sister, one half sister, 6 half brothers after my parents divorced and remarried. With my parents moving around so much, it gave me the love of seeing new places and not being afraid to move when I had an opportunity. As a kid, I did typical things: biking, skating, playing outside with friends. I was kind of a tomboy. I was a Girl Scout from brownies to seniors, and anybody who was a scout knows that I went all the way. I even earned my first class scout pin.
There you go.
Scouts taught me how to problem solve and improvise. You give me a coffee can and a sterno and I can make dinner. I played sports, basketball, volleyball, ran track, was on a swim team. This taught me teamwork. In high school, I was very proud of the 3 years of Air Force ROTC. This helped me to learn structure and reinforce discipline. But one thing I was most passionate about was sailing. I spent all the time I could on Chickamauga Lake and traveling the country racing sailboats. This taught me how to be humble and be a humble winner and a gracious loser. Sorry, I'm very nervous. After high school, I went from Middle Tennessee State University to Chattanooga State, taking courses anywhere from aviation to advertising. I left after 2 years because I couldn't find my path yet. This gave me the longing to learn more new things. In 1980, I had a chance to take a job in California, where I lived for almost a year. It was fun, but I realized this country girl had to get back to Tennessee. In 81, I got married and proceeded to move to the Eastern Shore of Maryland, which is by far one of my favorite places in the world. I was blessed to be near my relatives. This lets me spend time with my grandparents, and I learned about what made our family who we are. And it gave me the importance of tradition. In 85, my amazing son was born. He is now 37 and married. No grandkids yet, so I'm still learning patience. Now, over the next few years, I was a swim coach, assistant aquatics director at Hawaii, and went on to get my CPR first aid instructor certification. This gave me the ability to, on 2 occasions, to help save a life. Thanks. Then we moved to Nashville, where opportunities came to me where I would never have imagined. I became a pastry chef at Opryland Hotel and worked there for 5 years. Got my real estate license, sold real estate. I don't even think that sold real estate, and they complained about 4.5%, 6%. I sold it when it was 14% interest. So it can be done. I worked at an amphitheater for 10 years in security. I did it because I loved music and I couldn't afford the concerts, so I went to work there. Along with other opportunities. One was I started catering again. I found out my cooking made people happy. During this time, I got divorced. That is when I learned that people are sometimes in your life for a season. In 1999, I met my second husband and moved to Roanoke. And at that time, the only thing I remembered about Roanoke was where my family stopped for a picnic on our way to Maryland or Newport News to visit family. Even though that marriage didn't last, I was blessed to meet and become foster parents with a wonderful little girl, Zoe, who is now 27 and a paramedic. And the latter was a 14-year-old girl, Tatiana, who is now 22. And a lot of you have met both of them over the years. This taught me that God put me where I needed to be at the time. Over the years, I've been blessed to go on mission trips to Africa, work in security for President George W. Bush's inauguration. And how I got those opportunities, that's another story. Becoming an art teacher for 5 years, kindergarten through 12th grade, opened my cafe, Sarah's Place. That's where I met a lot of you. And even cooked on TV for 5 years. In 2012, I became your caterer. And that brought me to join in 2015. Thank you. And then in 2018, I met Lee. But through it all, I've been very blessed. And my journey is not over. And this is only a quick overview of my life. But if anybody wants to know more, I'm open for coffee.
Thank you, Amy. The West End Christmas party this year was a fantastic success, I think, mostly thanks to all of you, and Lois was the coordinator. Lois? We can.
Okay.
We got them.
Hi, everybody. Okay, I have a very, very long list here to thank, so please be patient with me. But I want to start with the West End Christmas party is very near and dear to my heart, and it is a wonderful event and couldn't happen without all of you. So to start, Ben Spiker and Tom Miller are the ones who really rounded up the corporate sponsorships that we got. So I'd like to thank Ben and Tom, and then our corporate sponsors for the event, Elk Hill Advisors, Scott Berglund, Steve Bowery, Wilbank Smith and Thomas Asset Management, Northwest Ace Hardware, Jamie Bailey with Alcova Mortgage, Dan Chipwood, Evergreen Memorial Trust with Don and Johanna Wilson. And then there were over 35 of you all individually who contributed to the fund. So thank you all. If you want to stand, I would love that. When I start reading the other ones, you'll stand too. But we have some balloons from President Ben to hand out to everybody. So be ready to get your balloon today. Okay, so with all of our corporate sponsors and individual sponsors, we were able to raise over $5,000 for our kids, which just is amazing to me. We had the most kids this year that we've ever had. We had 59 children this year. If you didn't see all of that craziness on the day of, it was wonderful. And what that allowed us to do was to spend about $75 per child. So thank you, thank you, thank you for that. Thank you. Okay, so individually, I want to recognize our shopping and our wrapping folks. So people, when I count, say your name, please stand up and Ben.
If you have a pen.
If you have a pen, just say thanks, I've got one.
But if you don't.
Ben's got one for you.
There you go.
Okay, so for shopping, we had Donna Lynch, Sherry Dillon, David Farnham, Micah Brockta, Reef Kessler, Joe Limmer, John Montgomery, Joyce Montgomery, Eric Danielson, Jamie Bailey, and Reef. Where are you? Where's Reef? How many kids did we have from Hidden Valley and Cave Spring? 19. So we had 19 kids from our key clubs. And I will tell you, we got through our shopping not in a very quick time because of all of our help that we had from our key clubs. So Reef, thank you for your excellent job with rounding up the key clubbers. So thank you, shoppers. Trying to get fast. Okay, so then we had a wrapping party. Clark Goodman sponsored us at his place at Surf Pro. So it was a wonderful night for wrapping all of those presents. So again, we had Reef and Susan Kessler, Steve McGraw, John Montgomery, Joyce Montgomery, Emily Bailey, Sherry Dillon, Clark Goodman, Bruce Swanson, Don and Johanna Wilson, Don Witt, Jamie Bailey, Rhonda Purdue, and we had over 20 key clubbers from Patrick Henry there as well. So if the key clubbers hadn't have been there, I'm sure we would have been there all night and then some. So thank you very much to that. So thank you, rappers. And then I want to thank Gary Dirk for having the wonderful music that we had. So he was in charge of bringing all the musicians together. So thank you, Gary. Amy Carter and her group for the wonderful food we had. And I will tell you, the leftover food went back to the West End, so very generous on Amy's part. So thank you very much for that as well. And I couldn't go without saying thank you to our own Santa. Notice I said Santa Claus, our Sam Lineberger. So thank you to Greg and Sam for helping with that. For Mrs. Claus, Judy. Where's Judy? There's Judy. So Judy was Mrs. Claus. And then we had our elves, Donna Lynch, Jamie Bailey, and Joyce Montgomery. So thank you for that. And I usually try to give you a real quick story. There were so many this year. I can't tell you all the heartfelt thank yous from the kids themselves. I think it was Eric Danielson that was sitting at the table with the child that he bought for. So it's really interesting or heartwarming to see the kids that you bought the presents for and to watch them open it. It's pretty neat. But I will tell you from John Montgomery, our finance person, when you're buying for 59 kids and you have over $5,000 and John's watching the cash register as we're going through the line. And I will tell you that we came within $20 of what we were allowed to spend. So I think John was very happy with us. And then Danny at West End is always very appreciative. And I asked him if there are things that they need throughout the year. So I'm going to try to support more throughout the year for West End. And if any of you all would like to do that with me, I'd be happy to have you join me. But overall, thank you. Thank you. We had a wonderful party and we'll do it again next year.
Well done, Mark. Well done. Did I miss anybody? I'm sure I did, but today's announcements, there'll be a Martin Luther King Day Nature Park cleanup. The flyer is on the table. There's more information on the website. That is not a Kiwanis project, but it's something that Sherry Hartman has pulled together with all of the partners that are working with us on that. There'll be a King service. That flyer is also on your table. More information on the website. It's on your table about the service that's taking place. I believe it's Sunday evening. The Environmental Committee Zooms Monday at 12:30. The Zoom connection is on the calendar, which is also on the website. There is a thing on your table about the 5-year strategic plan. One of the things that we did in 2018 under the leadership of Sherry Hartman and Don Witt was create a 5-year plan. And as we've looked back, it's amazing, literally amazing how effective that planning process was and how much of that plan we were able to accomplish. One of the things that we hope to do this year under Bruce Swanson's leadership, working again with Don Witt, is to continue the planning process and revisit our 5-year plan and talk about move that forward. It was the song that did it. Yeah. Okay, we'll let that go. So much going through. The sign-up sheet is available. It's on your table. We are looking for committee people to work on that. I think it'll be a good process. It's a great exercise to go through. There are some additional committee sign-up sheets on your table. I know Scholarship Committee under Steve English's direction is getting ready to gear up, and Don Witt has kicked off the Nominations Committee also, which consists of the past 5 presidents, me, and the president-elect. So that committee is going forward. We have today a very special brag buck from Mr. Bradshaw, who this month celebrates his 54th anniversary as a Roanoke Kiwanian. Congratulations, John.
Longest membership in the club.
Longest membership in the club. It's your turn, John.
You want your book? Wow. Number one membership, John, in the club.
The old man, hopefully can find his glasses. And I'm sure you're expecting me to be begging for money for the foundation.
Yeah.
But when I wrote this, I thought I was top dog at a 90-year birthday. But my fine president over here came up and said Howard Zerps was 100. And he undercut me. And typically, relative to Howard Zerps, I'm just a puny one. Howard Zerps was a wonderful Kiwanis, did many things, and if for nothing more, he was singularly instrumental in getting the Williamson Road Adult Care Center in place. And for those of us that were involved with the club back in that period of time, Zerps was it, and I was just a puny thing. But no, I'm asking you to join me in a celebration of my 90th birthday, which occurred last Saturday on the 7th. For me, it was a big day. For one thing, I outlived both of my parents by 5 years. And to check back in my dead list, the nearest ancestor of 30 individuals was a Robert that had 90 years back in 1890. But 90 is really an interesting period in my mind. But yet 90 years has been very interesting in itself relative to me. I was told that I was conceived in the period of the Great Depression. I grew up in Norfolk during World War II, followed closely by the polio epidemic that occurred in that general period of time, and ultimately signed into the Navy the last day of the Korean War. But that wasn't all. There were many other military events, big snowstorms, hurricanes, the landing on the moon, and more recently, the Queen's death that occurred in those 90 years, all of which was of phenomenal interest to all of us here in this room. But the main question I have today is how much of a gift should I share in celebration with the Kiwanis Foundation? Some years ago, as I was president, we asked for $1 per year. But unfortunately, inflation has cut that down to a mere pence. Rupert Cutler the other day, when he turned 89, he sweetened the pie a bit, but I'm not real sure quite to the point that it recovered inflation. You know, and I started thinking, well, what should I give to my 90th birthday? And I thought, $3, $4, well, that's puny. But then I read an MIT class newsletter not too long ago and noted one of my classmates bragging about having taken 65 classmates of his to a Boston hotel for a dinner. Frankly, I'm not sure I have 65 good friends I want to take to lunch. On thinking a little bit about it, I said 2 and 3 is puny, and the first round number is $10. So I said, okay, $10 is worth a 90-year-old man. So I wrote a check the other day and sent it over to John for $900 as my tribute to the foundation. You know, in comparison to my classmate, That's about 30 friends of mine to McDonald's for a special. But that's all right. He's in Boston and I'm in Roanoke. Thus, in turn, I am very privileged to give to the foundation a $90 check.
No, not
$900 check. I'm being cheap.
Never.
But then maybe some of you could contribute $1 or $2 more, not in my name, but in Howard Zerp's name, to add to the pie of that $900 to celebrate this day for members of the older set of the Kiwanis Club of Roanoke.
I know we're running long, but I got two real quick brag bucks, JC and Stephanie. Stephanie, if you would go first.
That is real short.
I know, you're real short.
Yeah. Yes, real short indeed. Just following behind John, I too want to say I am celebrating my birthday. It was January 6th, the day before John's, and I am celebrating a milestone. And in recognition of my milestone, which I am still a baby of 65 years, I'm going to give my contribution twice over for the Kiwanis birthday. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm here not for a birthday, but I'm here because of the Kiwanis Foundation. Thank you, John, for getting us over the hump. Last year, what's it right now, John?
12,500.
Right now, we have $12,500. Some of you may not have had an opportunity to give toward the foundation, and you all know what the foundation do each year. Our president, Don Wilson, has put the pressure on me. Don said we must pass last year, or they may kick me off the foundation. Please, if you have not had a chance to give, we have one more week, this week, next week. And I told Joe said, I don't want you to get kicked off. So Joe just handed me his check for $103, John. So now, we need some more. That's all we want to do. You know, we have some prizes that when we do the drawing, I believe it's the fourth Wednesday. Those of you who've given at least $103, you'll have a chance. We have 2 dinners from 2 famous restaurants in town. I can't think of the name of them. And we also have a overnight stay at the Hotel Roanoke with a meal for 2. You may take your own spouse, probably would be better, so we can keep you in the club. So if you happen to win that. So anyway, thank you, Mr. President, and please get your donations in. And Jackie, thank you, Jackie. See what I'm saying?
$50
And
gift certificates to the restaurant.
we have $50 gift certificates, 2 of them, and plus the overnight stay. So somebody's going to win that. And if you give $206, you get 2 chances. So John, you're going to get how many?
Well,
8.
a bunch.
We got to do the math.
Well, let me say, the reason we have to do the math is because that's his second gift. He had another gift.
So John's gonna have a lot of chances in there. I can tell you that. Thank you so much, all of you. God bless you. Have a great day, Mr. President.
I apologize to our speakers for running a little bit long, but without further ado, Bill.
Thank you, President Ben, and I will keep the introduction short to give them as much time as possible. Our speakers today are Angie O'Brien and Carol Corbin. Angie has been with the city for more than 20 years, and she's currently serving as a city chief strategy officer and assistant city manager apprentice for the city. Carol has been with the city for more than 15 years. She's currently serving in the Office of Communications and Community Engagement since April 22. I will say that one of the most frustrating things for me during my time on city council was people would find out about something and say, well, nobody told me. Yes, they did. They send out emails, they send out text messages, they put it on the website, they put it on Facebook pages, they use all the other social media platforms. So they're here today to tell you how you can get connected. And I don't ever want to hear any of you say, the city didn't tell me what was going on.
Thank you, Bill. First off, my name is Angie O'Brien, and thank you, Bill, for that introduction. It's a pleasure to be here today. I'm really honored. There's a lot of familiar faces out here in the audience today that I've worked with you all on a number of projects and will continue to work with you on those projects as well. So again, I can't tell you enough what an honor it is to be here with you all. You're such a civically engaged organization that does so much great work for our community. So thank you for the work that you're doing. As Bill said, I've been with the city for over 20 years. I started my career in the Department of Social Services, and I started there with a passion to serve others, help the community. And I moved in more recent years, I guess within the last 5 years, into the city manager's office, where I'm able to focus on our community as a large organization. And so for me, the guiding post that I focus my career and my passion on is serving our community, especially those underserved. And I'm constantly looking for ways or strive for ways to get involved and to help everyone in our community, but especially those underserved, be connected to resources and opportunities. So one of the things that I'm tasked with doing is overseeing our Office of Communications, which is why we're here today. I'm really going to turn it over to Carol. Carol is one of two of our community communications and community engagement specialists. It's a little bit of a mouthful, but there's a lot of work behind the scenes, so really the title doesn't give a lot of justice. But Carol is turned into really an expert in the field, so she's going to be the person that's going to best give you all the information that you need to know today, and I'm going to be glad to stick around, obviously, and answer any questions after she's done with the presentation. So thank you all again.
Hello, everyone. I'm Carol Corbin. Bill took my whole presentation. Just kidding.
I just gave it nuts. Oh, we're back on time.
I know, we're back on time. Presentation over. So in the Office of Communications and Community Engagement, we have a full team. So there are two communications and community engagement specialists, myself and a current vacancy. So soon there will be another face up here with me. We also have our neighborhood services coordinator, a language access coordinator, and our youth and gang violence prevention team sort of round out our team and community engagement. What we do is we establish and maintain beneficial relationships between the city and all of its residents. And it's our job to tell the story of the city and get all of the information and updates out to all of the residents. And in our role, we have multiple audiences. So not only are we getting information out to the community at large, we are also responsible for the internal communications with city employees. And then we communicate quite frequently with news and media outlets, residents, and our visitors. And it's not only how we see the city, it's about making sure we get the message across to the community so that it's how the community sees the city as a whole as well. And when we are working with the media quite frequently, we receive a lot of inquiries on different programs, different events. And when those inquiries come in, they come into the community engagement email or to my phone. And at that point in time, if it's something simple and easy and we have the information, we can provide that to the media. Or a big part of my job is finding good representation. So it's the city's media policy that the person who is best informed on the inquiry is the best person to provide that information to the community. And so my job is to assess what the actual inquiry is asking and point the media in the direction of the person who is best suited to provide that information and get the right information to everyone in language that they can understand and in a way that is meaningful to them. And when we communicate with our residents, a lot of that communication happens on our website. I'm going to try to move through this presentation fairly quickly because at the end, I would like to show you a few key pages on our website that might be beneficial to you all. But our website's fairly easy, roanokeva.gov, not roanoke.gov. We don't want to go over to Roanoke County. So let's stay in the city. When we're on our website, we also have a way to sign up for alerts so that when certain information comes out, I send out alerts on the website and it gets texted directly to our subscribers or emailed directly to our subscribers based on whatever preferences you have. And with this presentation, there's a QR code up there that would take you directly to that My Roanoke. We also send out news releases to the media on again, multiple programs, events, different things that are happening within different city departments. At this point in time, I work in the Office of Communications and Community Engagement for the city, but several departments have their own public information officers. So police, fire, EMS, Parks and Rec, libraries, these large departments that have a lot of manpower and a lot of engagement in the community. They will have their own engagement officers that work very closely with me so we can make sure there are coordinated messages from all of these departments out to the citizens at large. Our office also helps to coordinate and hold press conferences. I like to say I was with the city for 15 years, been in social services, as was Angie. My first week on the job in communications, Senator Warner came to town and we had a press conference. So it was trial by fire. So at this point in time, we're old hats at it now, but we will set up and facilitate letting everyone know that the press conference is happening, run the logistics of the conference itself, make sure that everything is set up so that we let the media outlets know, we let the citizens know, and then once we have the conference, we let everybody know what happened. We also have multiple blogs that come out of our office. Twice a month, you will receive notifications if you sign up through My Roanoke of the Roanoke Recap blog. And I go through and let everybody know what's 5 or 6 key things that happened in the last 2 weeks within the city. And it's a way to just get some quick and punchy updates about things that are going on without getting too bogged down. And it'll give you extra resources if you want the full detailed information. And then the city manager also puts out a blog. And both of those come out of our office as well. We are all over social media. If you have not followed us, City of Roanoke government, please follow us. We put out a lot of information. We have over 88,000 followers on Facebook. So we have quite a large reach with our City of Government page. In saying that, we put out information specific from our office, but we also do our best to support and highlight the work of other departments. So many city departments have their own social media, but we will share their information. We'll like it. We'll try to create digital engagement in that way to make sure that we increase that reach and that net to the larger community for some of our other departments. We're also on Instagram, YouTube, Nextdoor, Twitter. We're everywhere. One of the big campaigns that we have through social media is we have a Welcoming Wednesday campaign where our language access coordinator will post about our equity and diversity within the city every Wednesday. We're getting ready to have a very nice and robust Black History Month campaign. We have a monthly visual video campaign called Noke News. Again, it is a feel-good sort of what good has been happening in the city where we recap the following month or the prior month for you. And we try to keep it short and sweet. We know that people don't like watching 30-minute videos on their phones, so we try to keep it at 5 minutes or less, so we're not taking up too much of your time. We work very closely with RVTV or Roanoke Valley Television. They are the main visual producers for us. So when we have video content, that is typically filmed through RVTV and produced through them in coordination with our office. And then we collaborate through social media again to help widen that reach so that we have more and more residents and visitors and people who can potentially see this information and get excited about the different things that we have going on in the city. And so there are multiple ways that you can engage with your city. One of which is to submit a service request. So there's a crack in your sidewalk, or you don't have a trash can. The light is out. If there are certain things that you need to let us know about, there is a submission form on our website that I will quickly show you to let you know where you can go to request those city services pretty easily. You can also request those services by phone by calling our main number, 540-853-2000, option 1. And you can also request those services that way as well. You can also weigh in on important city projects. You can view council agendas. You can sign up to speak at council. You can also put in an application to potentially serve on a board or committee within the city. So there are multiple ways that you can engage through our website. Again, on our team, we have a language access coordinator, Katie Hedrick. She works very heavily in ensuring that we have language access and equity within the city. We are contracted through Valatia to have translation services. So someone who does not have English as their native language needs to request that trash can or pay their taxes or find out what city park their kids need to go to. We can have easy access to translation services for hundreds of languages, both verbally, over the phone. We have access for iPads to have visual conversations, or we can have translation services for written documents. So Katie's been very instrumental in ensuring that we have that access throughout the city and that everyone is aware of that. We also have on our website a Google Translate version where our website can be translated into over 50 languages. So again, if English was not your first language, you could still come on our website and have all of that information. Finally, I would like to just give a shout out to our city logo. Our logo there in the middle of the screen it's our brand. When you see that symbol, you know that you are looking at something that is coming from the city of Roanoke government. And I like to give everybody a little bit of background about what that logo means, because it's cute, it gets to the point, you know it's Roanoke, but there's so much that goes into that little like 2x2 square that you see on a screen. So there are 3 main colors that are utilized within the mountain that serves for the Blue Ridge Mountain. And the first is the light blue at the top. And the light blue simply does represent the Blue Ridge Mountains. And look at our heritage within where the city is located and our outside natural surroundings. We also have a dark gray at the bottom, which serves to call our urban downtown feel that we have within the city. And then the light green for our parks and our open spaces. So the city of Roanoke really is an urban location with so many great outdoor amenities that we get into quite frequently. We have the star in the middle. We are known for the star. So our logo would not be complete without it. And all of the vectors coming in really stand for the innovation that the city tries to take in making sure we're providing the best and most up-to-date services and events for all of you. So again, nice little 2x2 square. You probably see it everywhere and have no idea that that much thought went into it and that much is evoked by it just by seeing it. So I think that's pretty special. So you can reach out and feel free to contact me at any time. If you email communityengagement@roanokeva.gov, that will come to me. That will also come to the other engagement specialists that we will have. And somebody will be able to reach back out to you and let you know any answers to your questions or what's going on. Also, you can reach out to us through the website, which is something that I'm going to get ready to show you here in a second. So the first page I have pulled up is actually our city council page on the website. If you go to our main page and you go to government, city council, it will bring you to city council's main page. On this page, again, you can put in an application to be on a board or committee. You can see what vacancies there are. You can view council agendas and prior council minutes. It'll really give you great access as to what is happening from a legislative side of the city. And so again, that is from our main page, government, city council. That next page is how to request a city service. When you are on our page, if you scroll up to the top there, Angie, there is a section that says, how do I? And if you go to how do I, the first thing that pops up down there under request is request a city service. So when you go to request a city service, this is where you can go to request a trash can, or let us know that there's a crack in the sidewalk, or let us know that there's been damage done to a city park. So those services can be requested quite easily from the main page. And finally, from our website, on the main page, there's a big button that says, you won't see it here. It's a global button from the main page. But it says contact us, and it brings you to the very aptly named contact us form. From this page, you can reach out to any city department with any type of request that you have. And you can reach out to public safety, streets and traffic, code enforcement, HR, stormwater. Any question that you may have, you can reach out to the appropriate department, let them know your concern or your question, and you'll get a response back from that department. If you're like, I don't know what department I even need to figure out, you can always select other. Other sends you to me. And so when you get to me, I'll make sure you get to the right place. We'll get you the information that you need. So we can definitely engage with you on that one-on-one basis and answer your questions directly, get you the information that you need about the city. So I wanted to keep this kind of short and sweet, make sure everybody had their time. If you guys have any questions, please let us know.
Thank you. It's our custom. Come back. It's our custom every year or every week to give an honorarium for our speaker in this way. And this year we have chosen the United Way of Roanoke Valley. Thank you very much.
Would both of you get up?
Good idea.
Look like you're happy to be standing next to our club president.
Oh, dear.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. The card for Margaret. Where is the card for Margaret? There it is. We've got it. Okay. Is there anything else for the good of the cause today?
Right on time.
Right on time. Hallelujah.
Pretty good.
Thank you all. We are adjourned.
Wow, outstanding.